Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Wealth for Real Facebook page. Just going live here on Monday, 13 November 2023. I just wanted to jump on this live, guys, to talk to you quickly about an article I posted on Twitter or X earlier in the day about, I think it was in the Washington Post, and it was talking about, what do you call it? It was talking about how baby boomers are the only ones getting houses anymore. And how baby boomers, were the top getters of homes in this housing market, and that the median age. So really, like, a couple stats just really jumped out at me, guys, that I was going to repeat here, and then I wanted to give you a little more commentary on this article from my perspective. But one of the things they said was that the median home buyer, I don't know if it was median or average, I forget what the number was, but it was something like 58 or 59 was it like the average age or median age of today's home buyer versus the 1980s when it was like 36. Okay, and that wasn't necessarily first-time home buying. That was just home buying in general. And I think first-time home buying, it was some other amazingly dislocated set of numbers. I wish I could remember. If you guys check out the X page for Wealth for Real, you'll see the article there. In fact, I think it was the last thing I posted. If you're watching this live, you can go over there and check it out right now. But the point is, the age has gone up like a couple of decades in the last few decades. So you're talking about, 40 years, and, the age has gone up 20 plus years. So that was pretty staggering. And I'm trying to think if there was another metric besides that. That was the key one, was the age difference. I guess it was kind of those two that I had in mind, the first-time home buying and the home buying in general. But the issue at hand was this notion that those home buyers in that age range, that older age range, they're more competitive because they're cashing out equity from homes, and they're coming in as either all-cash buyers, or they're coming in as all-cash buyers, or they have these huge down payments that they're able to make that just make them more attractive to sellers who just see them as a better, obviously if it's an all-cash buy, that's definitely better than a loan. And then if it's not all cash, if it's like, several $100,000 down, that's better than the guy who's going to put, $10,000 down. Obviously, they're much more committed. So, so to me, I was like, this is a no-brainer. It's almost like a non-story. Like, all we're really seeing is that boomers who got into homes before, remember, boomers played on a different economic playing field. They played on an economic playing field. And I'm not saying this is good, bad, ugly, negative, positive, anything. I'm just making an observation here factually. They played on a playing field where a 9-to-5 job with a pension or maybe 401k, whatever the case might be, and buying a home and holding onto that home forever and passing that home on to your kids. This was the playbook. This was the right playbook. This was the playbook that if you followed it, you probably were going to turn out okay. You didn't have to do anything fancy. You didn't have to do anything, you didn't have to have a side hustle. You didn't, maybe you only had one income. Maybe you didn't even need two incomes. They were just on a different playing field. And home ownership, as you can see by that number, and I think it was 1981 or 82, and it was like 36 years old, I'm pretty sure was the age. It was just more accessible. That just tells you right there. To me, that's one of the most compelling statistics. If you're looking for statistics on different economic conditions across generations, I mean, can you get a better one than that? Can you get a better, the average entrant was 36 in the 80s and now they're late 50s? I mean, if that doesn't tell you that the succeeding generations have fallen further and further behind in terms of economic viability in this country, I really don't know. I don't think I've seen a statistic that would do a better job than that. If you're trying to relate it to like pragmatism, if you're trying to think of it in terms of, you hear all this stuff about, the top 0.0001% owns $1 gazillion and everybody else owns a couple million. You know, there's other wealth transfer or wealth imbalance statistics out there. But if you're really trying to think of the everyday person and what they might be trying to achieve economically, I don't think I've seen a better statistic than this one. And it just tells the story you'd expect to see if you're paying attention. The boomers got in when you could get in. They got in on homes that were more accessible to them. They rode the inflationary wave and they cashed it out. And that's the equity coming out of these homes they're selling to go into new homes. And they don't need to worry about 8% mortgages because either they're buying with all cash or they're putting so many hundreds of thousands of dollars down that the 8% mortgage doesn't really hurt them that bad. The monthly payment's not that bad because they're just getting a mortgage that's like, you know, okay, it's an 8% rate, but I put half the money down in cash, or I put a third of it down in cash. I don't have to worry about that monthly payment as badly as if I only put 10% down or put 20% down or maybe put nothing down in, let's say, like a VA loan or something like that. So the bottom line, guys, is that's all you're seeing. That's really all this story was saying, whether it knew it or not, is that boomers cashed out their inflationary boost that they've picked up over the last, 3, 4, 5 decades, and they cashed it in. And they cashed it in, and I'm not saying they're right for doing that or wrong for doing that, but that's why the average age has gone up so high over this last 40 years. That's why, you can't get in to a home today the way you used to, and I don't know that it's ever going to be as easy as it used to, relatively speaking. I'm not saying it was easy then, but it was much easier than it is today. So that's the bottom line, guys. I mean, check the article out when you get a chance. I pretty much summed it up for you, but there's probably some interesting data in there and stuff that you can pour over. You can check my facts on some of the numbers and statistics I talked about. But this is simple stuff, guys. This is not that hard to figure out. And that's, all it tells me, guys, is what we all kind of know and sense in our gut, is that it's a different economic playing field today than it was before. I'm a Gen Xer, and I've got it way better than millennials, who got it way better than Gen Zers. To me, the people in that generation are not complaining when they say these things are happening to them. They are citing an economic reality that I think maybe we wish wasn't the case, or we don't want to admit that there's a real headwind there. But it is unfair to tell a Gen Zer or a millennial that they're not facing an economic headwind that's unique to them and to their generation. So check it out when you get a chance, guys. Would love to hear your opinion on this. Would love to hear what your guys' take is on this situation, especially if you had a chance to read that article. Till then, guys, hope everybody has a great Monday night, and we'll talk again soon.